Hello guys, so today we are starting topic 5.7 and this is solving systems with matrices. Okay, and this is a method for solving systems by entering the equations into the calculator as a 2 by 3 matrix. And what's kind of ironic is that my daughter, who's taking business calculus in college right now, is having to use operations with matrices. We're not there and won't get there at any point with this. But just so you know, we will be using matrices in your future math classes. All right, so let's talk about what do we do in the calculator. Okay, so the steps for solving. You want to make sure that the equations are in standard form. You're going to rewrite the system as a matrix, so we'll practice with that, and then you're going to enter it into your calculator. You're going to follow the steps of hitting second, then x raised to the -1, and that is located, if you look on the calculator, this button right here is x to the -1, and you'll notice that the word matrix is in blue, so that means I have to press the blue button first, so you end up with second matrix, and you will have a screen that looks like this, and we want 2 by 3, so it's already set up. Sometimes it may not be, and if it's not, you just go over here to edit, and we press enter. I'm trying to do this without the glare. Maybe I need to move the calculator over here. That's helpful. Okay, so let me move this up so you can see. So we're going to go to edit, arrow over to press edit, and press enter. And now you can see that we can change these. I can do 3s, but I want this to be a 2 by 3. So we go to edit, enter, you arrow over, enter the dimensions of the matrix as a 2 by 3, and then we enter the system, what we write, okay? Enter the system as a matrix. We'll go through those as we work, okay? And then after we've done that, here's an example of one right here. Okay, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to hit second mode, because notice the word quit, so I want to get out of what I'm doing. So I hit second mode to quit. You can use that for several things. Okay, now we're at step 4 and we want to solve it. So we go back into the matrix system. So I hit second matrix. Remember, that's the X up top. -1, arrow over to math, because we want the calculator to do some math, okay? And then we're going to scroll up or down. I think if you scroll up, you can go to find the one that looks like BREF. I roll that R so that you remember it's a double R. You want option BREF, and then we press enter. And now we need to go back to choose which matrix to use. So we hit second matrix, enter, because we just want to choose this first one, enter. And then we hit enter again. And now when I'm looking at this, this is my answer. So this means that my X is the top, because remember when we write it in standard form, it's XY equals C. AX plus BY equals C. So this is the X equals 8, the Y equals 5. All right. Let's go through the motions again with the actual system. Okay. Looking at number 1. Okay. When I'm looking at this right here, I need to know what are all the coefficients. This is a 1. The coefficient in front of the x is a 1. The coefficient in front of the y is a 1. So therefore, my matrix for this problem, for the top equation, is going to be 1, 1, 13. For the second equation, it's going to be 2, -3, 1. This is the matrix that I want to have typed in to my equation. Okay, so now, back over here, where we can see the steps at the same time as we're doing this. So I hit second, so you can see the points of second matrix. We go over to edit, enter. I want a 2 by 3. So I hit 2, enter, 3, enter, and now I can input my matrix. So I'm going to press 1, enter, 1, enter, 13, enter. Now I hit the second, now I type in the second row. 2, enter, -3. Yes, you'll have to do the negative button, not the minus. Enter, 1, enter. And now we follow our third step, second mode, because we want to quit. We want to get out of the program. Now we have to go back into it to tell it to do something else. So we hit second matrix. We want it to now do math. So we hit go arrow over to the math. And this is where we want the BREF. So I scroll up because it's easier to see the BREF at that point. Press enter 3 times. No, not yet. Sorry. Press enter. Now I have to tell it which matrix to use. So I go back to the matrix, second matrix, and you have all of these steps written right here. All of these steps are written. Okay. We choose A, it's highlighted. Press enter. Now I have my answer. Okay. And remember, the matrix answer that it's giving me is written as 1, 0, 8, 0, 1, 5. Okay. Remember, this is the X spot, this is the Y spot. So this is saying X equals 8, Y equals 5. So therefore my answer is 8, 5. And you can check by plugging it into either one of those equations to make sure that it is correct. All right, moving right along. Okay, not going to explain as much. Okay, here we go. Looking at number 5. Okay, remember that the first thing we got to do is to write the matrix. Okay, well, first, I'm sorry, I got to make sure it's in standard form. And it is. So let's write down the matrix. So we have -4, -8, -3, 1, 2, 1, because that's understood after 1 right there, 13. All right, so now I'm going to go into the calculator. Second matrix. I want to edit because I want to change what's inside there. Just press enter for these. And now I've got -4, enter, -8, enter, 23, enter, 1, enter, 2, enter, 13, enter. Second mode, because I want to get out. Second matrix, so I can go back in. Now I'm wanting to tell it to do math. So I go over to math, BREF, so I arrow up to BREF, enter. Now I have to tell it which matrix to use. So I do second matrix. I want the first one. Press enter. Now it knows which matrix to use and enter twice. Here we go. Now, the issue with this one is notice when I write this matrix down of what it equals, it's 1, 2, 0, 0, 0, 1. Well, wait a minute. The one up here had a 0 in the Y spot and then a 0 in the X spot. This has got a 2 here and the bottom is 0, 0, 1. These are all different since the bottom is all different, this is no solution. Okay. So we're going to write a little note here. Because bottom row is 0, 0, 1, they're not the same. It equals no solution. So my answer here is the no solution. All right. Next problem. Okay. Looking at 8. All right. Well, first thing we got to do is we got to write our matrix. So we have 8, -6, 84, 4. Oh, wait a minute. First things first. Wait a minute. That's not standard form. I have to put this in standard form. Notice I realized that when I started to write this equation. So therefore, I'm going to add 42 and I'm going to subtract 31. So I now end up with 4x minus 3y equals 42. These are the two equations that I'm going to use. Okay, so now write my matrix. So I have 8, -6, 84, 4, -3, 42. Some of you may notice something about what I could do to the equations, or you might have some observations at this point, and that's okay. Here we go. So now we take and punch this into the calculator. So we have second matrix, edit. I have 8, enter, -6, enter, 84, enter, 4, enter, -3, enter, 42, enter. Second mode, second matrix, math, graph, enter, second matrix, enter, enter. And you'll notice that this one, these are all zeros on the bottom. Okay. So we're going to write this, and we have 1, -0.75, 10.5, 0, 0, 0. Okay. Because this is all zeros, it is all real numbers. All zeros equals all real numbers, which is the infinity symbol. Which, if you notice here, if I multiply this times 2, I get the exact same equation. If it's the same equation, then that means it's equal to, that's kind of blurry, sorry about that. Okay, one last problem. Here we go. Looking at number 12. All right, well, this is a word problem. Yes, 60 coins. There's quarters and dimes. I got to remember, a quarter is worth 0.25, a dime is worth 0.10. The coins combined have a value of 13.35. So we want to know how many quarters and how many dimes. So therefore, let x equal quarters, y equals dimes. So I'm going to have x plus y equals 60. 0.25x plus 0.1 or 0.10y equals 1335, because we have our item scenario and our money scenario. All right, now I can write a system. I mean a matrix. That's the system already written. So I'm going to have 1, 1, 60, 0.25, 0.10, 1335. And now we punch it into the calculator. And we have second matrix. Go over to edit so I can change what's inside of here. Move too far up. Enter, enter. 1, enter, 1, enter, 60, enter. 0.25, enter. 0.10, enter. 13.35, enter. Second quit, second matrix. I want it to do math. Notice the more I do this, the faster I become. Second matrix, choose the one I want, enter. So therefore, right now, my matrix is 1, 0, 4. Kimberly, you got to put space because otherwise it all runs together. 1, 0, 49, 0, 1, 11. So that means I have 49 quarters, 11 dimes, because this is x equals 49, y equals 11. No answer. Okay. If you've got any questions, make sure that you come and see. You'll have a great day.